So, you just bought a gorgeous new 4K TV. The picture is incredible, so sharp and clear it feels like you could step right through it. You queue up the first big blockbuster movie, the epic opening scene starts to build, and the sound that dribbles out is just sad. Thin, tinny, and completely killing the vibe. Classic flat screen TV problem. You know a soundbar is the fix, but you're not here to blow your budget. You want the best soundbar you can get around $150 without getting burned by hype and fake specs. It's easy to end up with something that's barely better than your TV, or so boomy you can't hear dialogue properly. That's exactly what we're going to solve. I'm putting 3 of the most talked about budget soundbars of 2026 head to head. The Hisense HS2100, a super affordable 2.1 system focused on value. The longtime budget favorite, the Vizio V21-H8, and the challenger trying to change what budget even means. The Ultimea Poseidon D60, a full 5.1 system that even brings Dolby Atmos processing into this price class. If you're shopping for the best soundbar around $150 in 2026, one of these is a clear winner for most people. But depending on your budget and room, the others might still make sense. Let's figure out which is actually right for you. The contenders. First up, the Hisense HS2100. This is your classic, no-nonsense budget pick. It's a 2.1 setup, soundbar for left and right channels, wireless subwoofer for bass. It's built to be a big, simple upgrade over TV speakers, and it regularly sits a bit above the $100 mark. If you just want way better than TV, without thinking too hard, this is the one that keeps popping up. Next, the Vizio V21-H8. For years, this was the default recommendation in this price range. It's also a 2.1 system with a wireless sub, known for a warm, pleasant sound and clearer dialogue than most bargain bars. In 2026, the question isn't, is it good? It's, is it still good enough compared to newer stuff that's now competing at the same price? Then we have the Ultimea Poseidon D60. This is where things get interesting. It's a 5.1 channel system, soundbar, wireless subwoofer, plus 2 rear speakers for true surround. On top of that, it supports Dolby Atmos using virtual height processing. Price-wise, it's usually marketed as under $200, but it often drops close enough to $150 that it can realistically compete in this budget bracket. On paper, it looks like it shouldn't even be in the same league as the other two. Our job is to see if the real-world experience actually backs that up. Setup and ease of use. A soundbar shouldn't feel like a science project. The Hisense HS2100 and Vizio V21-H8 are both simple. You unbox the bar and wireless sub, plug the sub into power, hook the bar to your TV with HDMI, ARC, and you're basically done. Your TV remote controls the volume, the bar turns on and off with the TV, and there's almost nothing to mess up. It's exactly what you want if this is your first soundbar. The Ultimea Poseidon D60 has more pieces, but the setup is still straightforward. You get the soundbar, a wireless sub, and 2 wired rear satellites. The soundbar connects wirelessly to the sub. The rear speakers plug into the sub with long included cables, so you only need 1 extra power outlet near the back of your room rather than 3 separate ones. It's a smart compromise that keeps the wiring manageable. All 3 support HDMI ARC/eARC for the 1 cable TV connection. The Hisense and Vizio are a bit quicker to set up simply because they have fewer speakers, but the Ultimea is very reasonable given you're getting a full 5.1 layout. Dialogue clarity. If you can't hear what people are saying, nothing else matters. Watching dialogue-heavy dramas, YouTube commentary, and news, both the Hisense and Vizio are clear upgrades over TV speakers. They have a warmer tone that makes voices fuller and easier to hear. Between the two, the Vizio sounds a bit cleaner when you crank the volume. It holds together better at higher levels. The Hisense has EQ presets and sound modes, but its tuning is less flexible. In smaller rooms, the bass can bleed into the mids a little unless you're careful with overall volume, which can slightly blur dialogue. The Ultimea Poseidon D60 is on another level here. Vocals sit clearly at the front of the mix, and its dedicated dialogue mode on the remote actually works. It lifts speech without making everything else thin or harsh. Because it's a 5.1 system with a robust front soundstage, it behaves like it has a strong center focus for dialogue, helping voices stay anchored to the screen instead of getting swallowed by effects. If dialogue clarity is your top priority, especially for TV shows and streaming, the Ultimea wins this round. If this is already helping narrow down your options, hit subscribe so you don't miss future head-to-heads. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Explosions. Movies base in immersion. Here's where budget bars either start to feel cinematic or just louder than the TV. With action scenes, space battles, car chases, big fight sequences, the Hisense HS2100 and Vizio V21-H8 both deliver a solid jump in impact. Their wireless subs give you the low-end thump your TV simply can't. Explosions, engines, and music drops finally have weight. The key difference between those two is control. The Vizio V21-H8 lets you adjust the subwoofer level independently with dedicated controls. That's huge because it means you can tune the bass to your room so it doesn't overwhelm everything. The Hisense HS2100 offers presets and some overall tuning, but less precise bass control. In certain rooms, it can sound a bit too enthusiastic in the low end unless you keep the volume moderate. Then there's the Ultimea Poseidon D60. This is the moment where 2.1 versus 5.1 really shows. With Hisense and Vizio, everything is coming from in front of you. With Ultimea, when a car passes or debris flies, sound moves from the front bar to the rear speakers behind you. You're in the middle of the sound field instead of staring at it from a distance. Bass-wise, the Ultimea's sub, with its Bass MX processing, hits hard without instantly turning to boom. It's still a budget sub, but it manages a rare balance of depth and control for this price. And the Dolby Atmos label? At this level, there are no physical upfiring drivers. It's virtual processing. But it does widen the soundstage and add a sense of height and space the other two simply don't have. You won't confuse it with a $1,000 Atmos setup, but side by side, the Ultimea clearly feels more immersive. For movie nights, the Ultimea is in a different class. Music performance. Many use their soundbar for music in the living room, so music matters. The Hisense HS2100 is fine for casual listening. It plays loud with satisfying thump and improves on TV speakers. But push it and bass steps on details, making sound feel thick. The Vizio V21-H8 handles music more gracefully. Pulling the sub level down gives balanced presentation. It keeps its warm character and handles most genres well. The Ultimea Poseidon D60 feels more refined. Treble is clearer, mids are present, and bass is punchy without turning to mud. The differentiator is its app-based EQ. Where Hisense and Vizio offer simple presets, Ultimea lets you shape sound, adjusting specific EQ bands for your room and taste. At this price, that control is rare and makes the D60 best if you care about music. Which one should you buy? For most people, it's the Ultimea Poseidon D60. Near $150 or on sale toward $200, it offers what others can't. True 5.1 surround with rear speakers, virtual Atmos height, clear dialogue, strong bass, and deep EQ customization. For performance per dollar, the D60 wins. That doesn't mean the others make no sense. The Hisense HS2100 has one huge selling point: price. Often the cheapest, sometimes near $100. If budget is tight and you want something clearly better than TV speakers, the HS2100 is a solid no-frills upgrade. It does what you need. The Vizio V-Series 521-H8 is in a tougher spot in 2026. It's still good with cleaner sound than Hisense and crucial subwoofer control. The problem is price positioning. It costs more than Hisense while nearing Ultimea on sale. A few years ago, it was the easy pick. Today, it's squeezed by cheaper 2.1 options below and more capable 5.1 systems above. Here's the simple breakdown. Want the best experience and can stretch to $150 to $180? Get the Ultimea Poseidon D60. Absolutely hard cap budget near $100? Go for the Hisense HS2100. Find a Vizio V21-H8 at steep discount? It's decent, but at full price, it's harder to recommend. Thanks for watching. If this helped you figure out which soundbar fits your budget, hit like, drop a comment telling me which one you're going with and what room you're putting it in, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive comparison.